Hello, everyone. Good morning. Thank you for joining us today on our first episode of College Transition, Community College Edition.
Yes, hello everybody. My name is Daniela Cortez. Thank you so much, Lupe, for that introduction. We're going to be focusing on community colleges today and the California Community College system at that, which supports 2.1 million students across the state of California within 116 campuses. Students tend to end up at California community colleges for a multitude of reasons. Some because they want to transfer after 2 years, others because they want to pursue careers that only require an associate's degree, or some because they value the affordability and the accessibility of community colleges, that many of which can be found right next door to where we grew up in our own communities. I'm really excited to be joined today by Margot Mactall and Yomaira Ramirez, two of our college success advisors at Andrew Hill. If y'all can please go ahead and introduce yourselves, share with us the school that you attend, the degree that you are pursuing, and what your goals are after community college. Yomaira, if you would like to take it away.
Okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Yomaya Ramirez. I am an advisor at Andrew Hill. This is my second year. It's going to be 2 years in August that I've been working with CalSO. I currently attend San Jose City, and my major is sociology, and I plan to transfer to a university to, my goal is to just major more in education because I really like helping students of low income and first generation.
Hi everyone, my name is Margot, and right now I currently go to Evergreen Valley College. So it's the nearest community college from Andrew Hill, which I graduated. I actually graduated class of 2020, and so right now I'm currently pursuing a bachelor's degree. I hope to transfer from Evergreen Valley College to Foothill College, so another community college. And it's pretty cool how they offer a bachelor's degree. So my major is actually dental hygiene.
Perfect. Thank you so much for the both of you for being here. I'm really looking forward to hear more about your stories. The first question, and I know Yomara, you kind of mentioned that you have a passion for supporting first generation students. Is there a reason behind that? Maybe like a personal experience? Do you identify as a first generation student?
I would say yes, because well, I'm the first one. Like my parents didn't attend college, so it's kind of it was kind of hard for me to know everything about college. And so yeah, I do have a passion of supporting first generations students, because I mean our parents didn't have that experience, even though they wanted to, money was an issue, or they lived in Mexico, so they didn't have a lot of resources like we have here. So that's why I want to go more into education.
And then for you, Margot, I'm also wondering, are you a first generation student? And if you are, how did that play into your transition going into community college?
Yeah, so my parents actually did attend college but didn't graduate. So I'd consider myself as first generation. And how it played a part in me being in college. Sorry, I couldn't hear. Yeah, okay. So in college, for me, it was financial aid. I feel like that affected it the most. So I had to really ask for help when it came to that, because I never heard of the term first generation. So I didn't know the opportunities that we had, but I do know there's programs and stuff like that. Just I didn't really, to be honest, I really haven't gotten into it just because we haven't been in person. But I do look forward into looking at those programs once we do go back in person.
Thank y'all for sharing that. Kind of going more into your transition though, the summer before your first year in college, how did you guys prepare to go into that first year?
Well, for me, I forgot to mention I actually did graduate from Andrew Hill. So I graduated in 2019 with our other advisor, David Nguyen. And how did I prepare? I actually attended summer school. So I went to San Jose City and I did this program called Summer Bridge with Metas. So if you're part of like San Jose City, you know what Metas is. Like it's kind of like similar to Puente, and they help you with just like you have your counselors. So you have two counselors, like you either have Yesenia or Sabrina, and you basically get access to like getting like textbooks. You can rent them for free, so they don't charge you as long as you give them back. Calculators as well, bus passes. So basically, you have all the resources in Meta. So that was really like good of them. And I found out this program, I think, because of DCAC and also my counselor back when I was at Andrew Hill. And I would say, like, if you're going to community college, you should take advantage of this program because it really helps you. Like, it helped me a lot. Like, I had the opportunity to take English 1A, I believe. And so basically, you take the course with other high school students, so you're not alone. And I took it in person, so it was before COVID, and it was like really nice because even though it was like summer school, it was kind of draining, but it was from Monday to Thursday, and then Friday you had off, and then sometimes on Friday they had like activities. They would take you like on field trips and stuff, so that was fun. And you get to like meet new people, and like that's like the point of it, but also like you get to like get ahead from other people. So yeah, it's really good program.
Okay, so I'll go ahead. So for me in the summer, I wasn't planning to do anything the summer before I actually started my first semester in college. But we were in quarantine and I had like nothing else to do. So I decided to sign up for summer school. And my counselor actually referred me to take the class dance appreciation. And like I had no idea about like dance or anything. Um, but I actually really liked it. We learned about like different dances, the history of it. We watched a lot of dance performances, and it was actually pretty fun. We only met like twice a week, so it wasn't like that much. But what I really liked was it really prepared me for like the next semester. Even though like we were virtual, it just helped me like navigate like through Canvas, and like I feel like that's also really important because like um it can be hard and confusing going from like the high school system and then like now um being in college. So I feel like definitely like your Mara summer school really helped me.
Yeah, I feel like because I also identify as a first generation student and I was able to do a similar summer program before my summer of my first year, which was this past current year. And to me, it's really surprising how these programs offer us so many resources that I personally didn't even know I was going to need. I think that that plays into like the whole first generation background, the lack of knowledge and awareness around what like college really is and what you're getting yourself into when you decide. And then Margot, I did have like a quick follow-up and clarification for you. So I know that you mentioned that Foothill, the school that you're transferring to next after EVC, offers a bachelor's degree. So is your path going to be transferring to Foothill and then you don't plan to transfer into a 4-year like other community college students do?
Yes, so like my counselor actually called my path like the untraditional path just because like most people transfer to a 4-year university after community college. So yes, I would transfer from EVC to Foothill because they do have a bachelor's degree and you don't really need to go any further than that for my career, specifically dental hygienist. Um, and so yeah, so it's very like untraditional and it's like really cool for students to know like there's actually bachelor's degree offered in community college. And I'm pretty sure if I'm not mistaken, Foothill isn't the only one. There's also one in Gilroy. They offer another type of bachelor's degree, but I'm just not sure on what. But yeah, so it's like pretty cool. Like if you guys like search it up, like that's also an option for students. Because I know like they always think like, oh, I have to go to a 4 university, and like I just think it's pretty cool just because in terms of financial circumstances, it might be easier for someone to go to a community and get their bachelor's degree from there.
Oh, wow, that is really interesting. I think you were actually the person who taught me about the possibility of bachelor's degrees in community college. I had no idea that that was even an option. Um, but yeah, let's see. Our next question is about more transitioning. So, did anyone give you any advice for your transition? And if so, what advice did they give you? Did you find it helpful or applicable to your circumstance?
I'm trying to think. Well, like I said, I was part of CalSoap in a way, and then somehow transitioned into like DCAC with Miss Diaz back in 2019. And I also had my counselor. She's still a counselor in Andrew Hill. Her name is Miss Magana. So I would say having those like resources like really helped me. Like since like I said in the beginning, I was first gen, so I had no clue. And then all my friends were like applying, so we had each other in a way. So I remember that my counselor was just saying like at the end when like at the end of May, just like talking to me in a way that saying that you're gonna have to advocate for yourself. Cause like yeah, you do have the resources at a community college and stuff like that. But in a way, sometimes like you just have to do stuff on your own. Like in high school it was so easy for us, like we had people like counselors signing you up for the classes. Okay, this you're going to take this, but in college like you don't, it's like all on your own. And I was so scared because like I didn't know how to do financial aid, anything like that, when I was a senior. And then somehow I ended up getting this job. And now, like, I feel like this job has helped me a lot. Like, more to just advocate for myself and being there for myself. Because I feel like more now, I'm more like I'm more outgoing and I just do it. And then before I would say I would probably like be kind of scared to like ask for help. But now, so I feel like just it's like it was nice of her to just tell me to advocate for myself and to look out for myself. So yeah.
So I can go ahead and go. I was actually a part of this club called Friday Night Live in high school, and it was about us like promoting against like drugs and alcohol. And the coordinator actually of that club told me about to consider community college because I was telling her I was interested um, in just going to a 4 year, and that I always had a backup plan. Like it's called the Spartan Eastside Promise with San Jose State. um, and since I had the grades for it, I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna go there if anything. But she did tell me about community college and also vocational school to just consider it because, like I said, like the financial aspect of college. So like that really helped me to just consider and like do my research. And at that time, like I really wanted to do nursing, and so I researched. Evergreen was like the closest one. They had a nursing program. Um, and so that helped me like just choose like which college I was gonna go to. um but yeah, like that um advice of her to just like look at other more options really helped me. Just because also I wanted to mention like the stigma that there is about community college having low quality education is totally like not true. I feel like we're all just having like the same education, especially for the first 2 years. And so that advice just really helped.
Thank you for sharing that, Margot. I definitely agree with that. There's definitely some type of stigma, but just to add on to what you guys shared, I think sometimes we don't realize how much people's words can impact us. So I'm grateful that you guys did cross paths with those that did give you that advice. Next up, our next question would be describe your college transition into your first year in one word, and then go ahead and explain why.
One word, that's kind of hard. Um, well, I don't even know. Probably. Damn, this is so hard. Not sure. Stressful, I would say. it was really stressful for me because, like I mentioned, I did go to San Jose City, but I would say, I'm just gonna talk about myself. Like, I was one of those like Sigma people. Like, I, back when I was in high school, I would care of like what people would say about me too much. I don't know, like, I was just kind of like at a point in my life, like in senior year, like I was like so sad because I didn't get into the colleges that I like wanted to attend. And then like all my friends were going to 4 years. And then I knew some people from like my other friends that were going to community college, but it was still kind of a little bit hard for me to like accept the fact that I wasn't gonna leave like were like my hometown, like San Jose. Like one of my dreams was to just leave. Like I was tired of it. Like I wanted to go somewhere else that it was in San Jose. And that was not the case. My financial aid, like I didn't get any financial aid. I still don't get anything. So that has been really hard. And so yeah, I would say it was stressful. Like I did attend San Jose City. Then after San Jose City, I went to West Valley because back in that point in my life, I wanted to major in biology. So I was part of the medical magnet program at Andrew Hill. So the 4 years of my life that I was in high school, I thought that I wanted to get a major in like in biology and be like a doctor or like stuff like that. But then I realized when I got to college that I didn't want to do that. When I got this job, I realized that I wasn't passionate about that. Like, so yeah, I just ended up staying one semester at West Valley and then I transferred back to San Jose City. So luckily enough, I finished the whole summer bridge at San Jose City. So it kind of helped me in a way that I already knew staff and like counselors are there. So I went back with my counselor right now and she was really nice and she helped me like she we booked an appointment. Even though I wasn't like her student, she still helped me. Like that was so nice of her. And like she remembered who I was. So it made me feel more comfortable. Like, cause I would say West Valley, it's a good school, but it wasn't the place for me. Like it was just too far away from my house. I would have to like wake up at 6 a.m. because I had a class like at 8. So it was like an hour to get there because like I was a new driver. I got my license in August, so like a couple months after graduation. And like my parents did, they wouldn't trust me to like just leave without a license or insurance because like people drive crazy. And I mean, I wouldn't trust myself neither. I was too scared. And so yeah, I would say it's stressful. It was just too much. And then my I got my first job that it was Cal Soap, so I was new at that. I was driving, I was commuting to Andrew Hill and West Valley. Sometimes it took me a while to let my dad like give me the car, so I had to Uber to West Valley to back to Andrew Hill. So it was like a lot, or like vice versa. So sometimes I would spend like on Ubers like $20. Like I feel like Ubers are a little sketchy sometimes. I don't know. I was kind of scared. But yeah, would say my college experience like in one word is stressful.
So I can go ahead. So the word I would describe my first semester has to be like unexpected, because first of all, we were in a pandemic, class of 2020, like yeah, so that was like super hard. Like even now I haven't even been like on campus for like more than like an hour, like just me getting my books or something. Like so I'm like really looking forward to actually like being in a classroom, just because like I'm tired of my house just being in here, working virtually, and also just doing school virtually is just like straining, especially like my eyes on just a computer. So it's like super unexpected. And like not only that, I think I've touched up a little bit on this. All I wanted to do my whole high school experience was to be a nurse. Like you, Mara, I was also in like the medical magnet program, and so like I just wanted to be a nurse. Like a little bit about me was I also did SBCTE, in which we would go to that to another school before my actual high school, and we would go there for like 2 hours. And SBCT is basically like career based, and so um, I took this class called Medical Science and Health Careers, and it's all about just figuring out like what career you wanted. And even then, like figuring out my career, I really still thought that I wanted to do nursing. We even went into volunteer at hospitals, so it was like an internship kind of thing. And I was able to go into the ICU, like see, talk to the nurses. So like I was like, oh my gosh, perfect! Like I already know what I'm gonna do. And then the first semester of college, I changed my major. So yeah, that was like super unexpected. That's why, like, that's the word I chose. Like, I didn't think like I was just gonna change it like that. But I just, like who knows, I might change it again. But right now, like, I still want to be like a dental hygienist. And like, it's just super crazy how like one semester of college can change like those 4 years that I thought like I really knew what I was gonna do. So it's just like, yeah, so the first semester was super crazy, virtual, and also just changing my major, doing complete like 360 almost. But yeah.
Oh my gosh. Honestly, I could not agree more with those two words. Unexpected and stressful to the T. My first year as well. Unexpected. Margot, I changed my major before I even started my first quarter of college, and I started a quarter early. So I don't even know. But this is not a question that's written down, but something that I'm really curious about y'all's like thoughts on this. I know that like in my experience, the minute that I became a college student was also the minute that I became a student worker because I started this job. So I also know that like in regards to like stigma and being a student worker and going to community college, I feel like there's a lot of connection there. At least like what I was told is that a lot of community college students go to community college and they also work, and because of that they fall behind and then they're not able to graduate, and that's why it's like quote unquote not worth it or like a good path. Um, how do y'all feel about that? Do you feel like it has been difficult to navigate? Just feel free to like give us your thoughts on that, given that everybody here is a student worker and doing this job.
Um, yeah, I feel like I have heard like that stigma, but I feel like from my experience, like I said, like I mentioned, it was really stressful for me, so it was kind of hard for me to balance my time in a way and like, okay, this is what, because Kelso in school, it's really different as what we do right now. It's like go, events, this, that. And like now it's more calm. So I feel like in a way, freshman year me at a community college, like didn't know how to manage her time. Like I was really bad at it. And probably high school too. Like one reason why I left West Valley, like it was just in the school for me. Like my friends still attend there and they're doing really good, but I wasn't doing really good. Like I don't know what was going on. Like my GPA, it was okay. It's not the best. It's not what I have right now. Like at San Jose City, I'm like thriving. Like it's like really good. Like and then so yeah, so I'm really proud of myself that I went back to San Jose City because I feel like if I would stay there, I don't know, it was just like not the environment for me. Like maybe I was just going through a lot. Like I feel like I was still kind of healing like over the fact that I got rejected over like so many schools. I can't even count how many I got rejected. And like that's like one of my fear. My fear was like that I was gonna come back to San Jose City and that I wasn't gonna get my GPA up. So I feel like that's what led me to like kind of being scared to apply for transfer because like I'm still kind of a little scared that I'm gonna get rejected again and like all of that. But like it is what it is. Like what happens happens for a reason.
Okay, so for me, I feel like it's up to the student. It's never like, yeah, a lot of people fail because like they're more focused on their work than they are on school, but you can really do it if you put your mind to it, I'd say. And also teachers are also very mindful that a lot of students go to community and are working at the same time. Like for example, my summer class right now, he even said in the beginning, if you're working more than 25 hours, then you shouldn't take this class. But if you have a part-time and you're working less than 25 hours, then this class should be fine for you. And so I feel like it's always up to the students. Like they really know what they can handle. And if they take on more than they know they can handle, then, like that's their fault. And so, like, yeah, there's a stigma because everyone works when, well, not everyone, but a lot of people do work when they go to community college. But I feel like that's a good thing on community college just because they offer that flexibility. Like, they offer night classes and maybe some weekend classes. Also, I know they offer like Friday classes, and not a lot of colleges offer that too. So I feel like to that question, it's always up to the student.
Yeah, and that's really valuable because I do feel like there are a lot of our students right now who have signaled like, oh, I want to go to work, or I want to try balancing out the two, or some people who quite honestly just don't have any other choice but to work and kind of just are forced into this circumstance. So I really appreciate that because in some ways, like y'all sitting here and telling us about how you are able to do all of this and thrive, you might, I'm so happy that you're thriving now. Like you deserve it. I saw how much you honestly like worked so hard in high school. Um, and so did you, Margot. I was in AP classes with you during high school, so I know that a lot of people also, that's a thing too. Like you think that the community college type of student, like it's a type, they're not the type to challenge themselves academically. And y'all definitely did that and beyond. You were in a medical magnet program that forces you to take college level courses in high school. So you did it all. Definitely are proving that that stigma is not real. But before I go in even more of a tangent and just like admiration for the both of you, let me ask the next question. What is one fear that you had going into college and how did you overcome it? Or maybe you're still going through it, but how was that process going?
Like a fear. I think I kind of talked about it a little bit. Well, I would just say not knowing, like just getting bad grades. I'm always so scared of that. Like, yeah, like I said, I don't know. Like freshman year me, I was just like, I don't know what I was doing. I think I was just like trying to get used to my job. It was my first job. Like I don't blame Kelso, like it was me. It was me. Like I don't know. I didn't um prioritize my time like well. I didn't like I agree with Margot like at the beginning of the courses in the syllabus they tell you like, oh, this is how much time you should study, this is how much. And like I was taking math and I was taking nutrition and psychology and counseling. So I think that's why like I don't think it was a smart choice of me to combine math and science and like all of those courses. That's I think I'll take some weight off myself. I think it's because I put too many courses. And yeah, first thing like I was so scared of that and that kind of ended up happening. But I overcame it. Like I like left San Jose I mean, I left West Valley and I was sad of leaving because it was a really nice campus and they have good breakfast burritos. I'll give them that. They have good counselors too. Their counselors are really nice and their whole staff is nice. It was just not the school for me. But my friends stayed and I was kind of sad. Like my friends were sad that I was leaving, but I was like, no, I can't stay another semester. I can't do this to myself. Like I need to leave. I need to go back to San Jose City. And then I did and I did really well. I the first semester I got like a 3.7. So did pretty good. And up to this day I have like a 3.8. So I'm doing pretty like well and I just really like San Jose City, and I decided to stay one more semester or two because I wasn't ready to transfer, and I need to retake the nutrition class at West Valley. So I'm overcoming that, and I'm kind of scared for it, but hopefully it goes well.
Okay, so for me, my fear was definitely not being able to handle the workload of college. Like Daniela said, like we did take AP classes. I also took some like IB honors classes too. And so I knew that college expected a lot just because the teachers would just always be like, oh, you need to be college level. Like, this is the amount of work you're gonna get. But to be like completely honest, those courses really prepare you because now like I feel like college isn't as hard as I thought it was gonna be in terms of like the English classes that I've taken, um, because that's like more of like the honors route that I took, like just the English, and then I took one AP history class with Daniela, and that was traumatizing. But yeah, so that was definitely like a fear of me was just like going to college and not being able to handle the workload, and especially virtually too. um like I didn't know if I was going to do well just because I've never been in a virtual environment. I've never taken like an online class. I know some people have, but dude, back then like I was just like super scared. Like I didn't know how I was going to do if because then it was harder to make friends like online, so then who would you ask for help and like that kind of thing. But it did end up going pretty well. And now a new fear of mine is what if I go in person and then I do bad in person? So like, um, so yeah, like that's like another fear of mine, but I think I should be fine, hopefully. But yeah.
Thank y'all for sharing that. I think, it's important to recognize that everybody goes in with some type of fear, and then eventually you overcome it and you're just like, oh, okay, like it wasn't that bad, or like you get through it. So thank you for sharing your experience. Our next question is, what is one thing or a skill that you learned from your transition?
A skill. Um, well, I would say I was always pretty outgoing, like, but I feel like this job and the whole transition of like just high school to community college, like it made me like more, I don't know, more outgoing, less shy, better. Like I feel like since I already finished like all my English and my communication class, I feel like I was a pretty good presenter because of this job. So I feel like that is like one thing off my shoulders, and I feel like that's a pretty good school. Yeah, of course, I'm not saying I'm like the best presenter. Like I can still improve some stuff, but yeah, that was like a skill that I feel like it was really good, and I'm honestly really thankful for this job because if I didn't have this job, I'll probably be scared to present in front of like everyone in like those classes. But yeah.
For me, I was gonna touch on the exact same thing because I remember Vidi was telling me, another advisor, she was telling me she had this oral communication class, and because of this job, it was super easy for her. And literally the next semester, I took oral communication, and like I realized how easy it was for me too, just because of this job, just how much public speaking we do. And so that one definitely like helped me a lot, like in college with presenting, because I remember just like presenting in high school and just have my heart like literally beating out of my chest like before presenting. And so like I remember just being like nervous and like having like flashcards, and now I'm just like I could just like go on and on and on about like anything, like it could be a subject, and I just have like so much connections that I could make like just from the top of my head, and like I feel like that's like super cool. And we do a lot of presentations in college, and so that was really helpful. And just overall like working with a group, because like this team has definitely like been like so easy to work with, but like in certain situations like in school, like I see myself like taking like the lead position. Like currently right now in summer school, we have this like panel presentation, and then we had to assign like the chief like presenter, and then like I just volunteered for it. I'm like, okay, like go ahead, like I'm fine with it. And I know like that took probably weight off people's shoulders because like you don't want to be like the main presenter. But for me, like it just didn't matter just because of like this job and like just having it for almost like a year already. And so definitely like your Mara, I'm like super thankful like for this job because it just helped me become a better like public speaker and also just helped me become a better like team worker.
Yeah, thank you both so much. I feel like you are all identifying through your experiences some really key points and honestly things that could be fear for students listening in now. Like if there are students out there who are considering community college, but they are afraid of that stigma, are afraid of like that quote unquote like stunted growth or something because they're not able to go to a 4 year like other peers, know that there is stuff to look forward to. There is growth to be made wherever it is that you go. Like you're gonna be okay. Don't feel like community college is not a choice to be proud of. Celebrate it. Um, this next question is more so like shifting post your transition where your headspace is at now, but looking back, is there something that you wish that you would have changed? Something that you should have done differently during your college transition?
I don't know. I would say probably just since I did the summer bridge and I at San Jose City and I already had all my information there, I would just probably would stay there. I should have listened to Miss Magana, but I didn't. I was stubborn and I left. And then I came back. So yeah, I would probably fix that. Listen to your counselors, guys, and listen to your advisors. We're just trying to help you out. Like don't make the mistakes that I did. So yeah, I would like, but I don't know. It's hard because like West Valley also showed me like I learned some stuff there. But yeah, I would say like if you're going to community college and you're doing like a summer program, it's better just if you just stay at one community because then you're gonna have to come back and do the whole thing again, like sign up for do the what is it called? The training, like it's not training, what is it, the orientation and then sign up for your courses, talk to your counselor, so you're gonna have to do all of that again. When if you're just like at that community college since the summer, it'll be easy because you just only talk to your counselor, sign up for your courses, and you're done. But yeah, I would probably change that.
So for me, like I said, I was going to transfer. Well, my goal is to transfer to Full Hill, but I wish I would have just knew like. So this is kind of like it wouldn't have happened, but then I just wish it did. Like I wish I just knew like that I wanted to do dental hygienist before, and then signed up for classes in Foothill instead of Evergreen. Like don't get me wrong, Evergreen is like a good school. Like the classes I've taken were all like good, you know. But if I went to Foothill, I wouldn't have to transfer to Foothill, you know? So with Evergreen, I actually did try. I talked to someone at Foothill, like, oh, like how would I transfer and those kind of things. But they did say just because I did commit to Evergreen, I have to go like the whole 2 years there, or else I would lose that first 2 years free program that I have with Evergreen, and I would have to pay for my classes out of pocket in Foothill. So obviously, I don't want to do that. And so that's the good thing about like community. Like it's still easy, even though like I didn't choose to go to Foothill and that I'm in Evergreen right now. There's still like a chance for me to transfer to Foothill. Just I just need to finish that 2 years, like the general ed, before I can transfer. So that's probably like one thing I would change.
Thank y'all for sharing that. I feel like we can all look back and be like, I wish we could change this, but then you guys did learn stuff out of what did happen. So I think there's value in that. Our next question is, did your first year in college meet your expectations? Why or why not?
My expectations. I don't know. I feel like back then I didn't really have expectations. Like I was just going to school. You know, like at community college, I haven't joined any clubs. Like that's kind of bad, but I did join programs, so that's still. So I feel like I don't know, I don't have any expectations, just like to do well. I would say to get good grades and to being able to manage like the work that I was doing at CalSoap at Andrew Hill and like just commuting and being safe and like all of that. But honestly, I would say that I kind of a little bit met my expectations, not 100%, because I would say my first year at Andrew Hill, like being back since I graduated, and then I did learn a lot, and so I met my expectations there. But in school, I don't think I did. Like I was kind of embarrassed of my grades. Like I don't know, it was just kind of hard. Um but yeah, I would just wish that I would have managed more my time and gotten better grades for my freshman year, cuz it's like a hassle. Like once you fail a class, you have to retake it again, because university is not going to accept you like that. Like no matter how much you try, no matter how good my GPA is at San Jose City, that class is still going to bring me down because of that grade. So it kind of sucks, but I mean, that's life. Like you don't always get what you want and you have to live with it. And so yeah.
So, in terms of like my expectations of college, I feel like it did meet it at the same, but at the same time, no. Just because like, okay, so first I thought like going into college that I would have trouble with like um English and math. Like I thought like those were probably gonna be my hardest classes just because I was in the medical magnet program and like, oh, I already took all these like science classes and all that. But it was a complete opposite. Like I actually did like really good on the English and math classes, but what I did struggle, even though I did get good grades, what I did struggle was anatomy. And I was really, really surprised that I struggled on that because I did take it, um, not only anatomy and physiology in high school, just because I was in the medical magnet program. And so I was like super surprised that that class was the one that was really like stressful, and also chemistry. So like I was like so just surprised about like the amount of work the science classes demanded. So my expectations was like, yeah, I knew I was gonna have a hard time, but what was surprising was it was the classes that I thought I was gonna have like just breeze through it, but so far that was probably like the ones that didn't meet my expectation.
Yeah, and then I do just want to say like I feel like it almost hurts your ego a little bit when you find that the classes that you struggled in are not the ones that you were prepared to. I definitely have a story of my own, but this isn't my podcast, so not my time. These next questions are going to be more focused on your thoughts of transferring. So, like a transition upon another transition. And I like it just clicked for me. You both share that like untraditional community college pathway of like transferring from one CC to another CC and then having to transition again. Um, so as you're like going through this process, looking where it is that you want to go next, is this process something that is straightforward, or is it still a little bit more like difficult and confusing to navigate?
For me, since yeah, I mean, I first of all summer did San Jose City, then West Valley, then right now San Jose City. So I'm applying for fall of 2022. So I honestly have no clue. Like I don't know. Like I've been wanting to like have like some time like during the summer to plan out and like create a drive into like the schools that I want to apply. But I just don't know because there's so many schools and I'm not sure if I want to stay here at home like in San Jose or if I want to leave or if like because if I leave that means I have to leave CalSo. it's gonna be done, that transition. But I don't want to leave Kelso because that's something I'm passionate about. And like I feel like it would help me in the long run, because like staying and then applying, maybe just going to like San Jose State, because San Jose State is in my mind, and like also like some UC schools. But I still have to think about my financial aid, because I don't get any financial aid. So meaning that I would have to, one, pay out of pocket, or two, like scholarships or loans. But I do not want to do loans because that's kind of scary. But yeah, like I don't know. I feel like it's scary for a chapter to end and then a new one to start. But I have no clue right now. But I'm thinking about it, but I don't know. I still have to decide. But hopefully it's a good decision that I make.
So for me, I feel like my path it's still very difficult in a way, just because I did get in contact with the people from Foothill, and like they did tell me that they only accept like 20 students, about only like 20 students every like year for like the program. And so like that number like really intimidated me, like, oh, like what if I don't get in like after I'm done doing all of this just to transfer, to Foothill. And so I would have to apply and then apply again. And also like there's also like dental hygienist programs like that are outside of Foothill that I can apply to as well. But the only one that offers the same bachelor's degree is all the way in SoCal. And so that is also like crazy, because then going to a community college all the way over there, and like, so it's still like a difficult path, I'd say, to navigate, but it's something that I don't need to worry about right now. And I hope to not worry about like if um, I do get accepted to Foothill like right away. But there's still always like that. You always need that backup plan. Like, what are you gonna do if you don't get accepted to this? Because I mean, your Mara also touched on like getting rejected by schools like you thought that you always were gonna go to. So, like me right now, always thinking that I'm gonna go to Foothill, but in the back of my mind, like I always have backup plans. Like, yeah, if I don't get accepted, like I know there's some like vocational schools type of thing and that offer associates only, but um I could do associates and then transfer to another like school to get the bachelor's. So it's like a whole path that I have to figure out like step by step. Just depending on what scenario happens. Like if I get accepted to FOIL, if I don't, then I have to do something else. And like so just going by of what like life, I guess, like throws at me. Um but yeah.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that. We were just kind of wondering if you guys do like, it can be difficult managing all these transitions. So do you use any support, or did you use any support when making your transitions?
Like when I graduated from high school,
Yeah,
or like,
kind of like, any programs or something that helped
oh,
you.
okay. Yeah, I was actually part of Kelso for a little bit, and then we had this other program, DCAC, so that was more with BC Berkeley, with Miss Diaz, and she was really nice. Like she was always there for me. And then I also had my counselor, Miss Magaña. She was really so nice all the time, being there for me whenever I needed her. So yeah, I had those resources. They were really helpful because um, I don't know, it was just like I needed, like I was just so scared to talk to my parents. Like senior year me was so scared to talk to my parents. Oh, like first of all, like I was saying, oh, I want to move, like I'm about to leave. And then second year, like second semester, I get back to back rejection. So I get home, I'm like crying. I'm crying at school. I'm like, like people are like, what's wrong? Like, you don't want to talk about it. So I feel like I had those resources to talk to them about my feelings. And I just felt like, I don't know, they just made me feel comfortable, like both of them. Like, without feeling like I was getting judged. Because, you know, like sometimes when you talk to your friends, like your friends, yeah, they are your friends, but sometimes you don't know what to tell you. So it's better to go with people that you trust. That's why it's important to like join programs or like get close to your counselor in a way so you can have these supports, because sometimes it can be difficult to talk to your parents, or like, you know, like I have my parents are both Mexican, so they don't know how to do a application of schools. They don't know that, oh, you're transferring from this school to what other school, like, you know, it can be difficult. So I would say it was really helpful for me that I had those resources, and up to this day I still talk to them, and I'm so glad that um even though I already graduated from high school, like I still have that connection with them.
So for me, like I've said, I haven't really joined any programs like in college just because like we were, virtual. But the same thing with Diomara, pretty much Calso. But Jackie actually connected me with someone from Foothill, and she was also in a program kind of like Calso. I actually forgot like the name, but she was there like to support students too, letting me know like she wanted to be like a counselor. So like that was pretty cool. So she was kind of like us, but then like for college students. So that was like that's something that helped me. And not only that, even though I wasn't in any programs, I actually reached out to the Foothill Financial Aid Office, and they're just like super helpful. So just going and looking at like the school's website, you really get a lot of like contacts there, and then they're always happy to help you. So that's something I would say like students should try. If you just have a quick question, just go on your school's website and then see who you can like reach out to, because they usually just have like their email or their phone number, and it also says like, oh, the best way to contact them. um but yeah.
Yeah, I would say that, sorry, that I agree with Margot. Like sometimes when you're in college or like even like a community, if like it's difficult to make an appointment with a counselor, but literally just go on the website and it tells you step by step. So we should use our resources that we have.
Yeah, and I just want to say thank you for highlighting those resources because again, I feel like this all goes back to that stigma. Like you go to community college, that there's not much there, but from what y'all have been saying, it sounds like community colleges are really like trying to set you all up for success. They have a lot of resources. They take the time to prepare you. They're super flexible. I wish my school had weekend classes. That would make my life so much easier. But they don't. And also want to touch on like how emotional college as an experience for first generation students is. So definitely do want to second like build those relationships, seek people out, and be honest because it can be very vulnerable. We are leaning towards the end of the podcast episode, and we have a final question. Just a question of reflection. So, what did you learn? What do you hope to learn from all of these processes and transitions that you're going through? And as for your transfer to come, what is something that you wish that you had known before or that people would talk about more to make that transition easier?
Wait, what was the question? It was too long. Sorry.
No worries. Let me split it up. So the first one, let's touch on what is something that you have learned, something that you hope to learn going through all of these transitions and processes.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I feel like I have learned so much from like when I was like in summer bridge. Um, like all these courses, like they just made me realize that I was really passionate about, well, since I majored sociology, like for a while I was really lost on what I wanted to major. So I feel like honestly, how many times did I switch my major? I think like 3 times I switched my major. And I'm still kind of debating it, but it's too late already, so YOLO, you know? So I really love sociology. It's really like a more, like there's so many opportunities that you can do, because I got this job, and so I was like stuck on like what I wanted to do, and I know that it was something that I wanted, something in education, but I didn't know what, until like I realized I want to do counseling and I want to get my master's in counseling. So I feel like I have learned so much, like just in education in a way, like my own experiences and then our job and then like all of that. So yeah.
Okay, so for me, I've learned that like the resources are there and all you have to do is just like look for them yourself, because I mean at the end of the day you only have like yourself, and just making sure that you're looking for these resources. And I also learned like it's okay to change your major. Like your Mara, she's changed hers, like I've changed mine, like Daniela literally just changed hers like before she started. So it's like it's normal, and like it's okay, because in college you're still like finding yourself, and there's it's not that hard like to change it. I'd say like early on, like her said, like for her it's too late, but I don't think so. Like I feel like if you did change it right now, it's fine. But that's something like I learned.
All right. Well, thank you all so much for sharing your whole experience. I definitely learned a lot, and I hope that the students also learned a lot. Um, Community college can be a little scary, but as you can see, Yomaira and Margot have definitely been managing through it. So it's possible if you are a first generation student. Although we are coming to the end of our podcast, if y'all have any questions, you can go ahead and follow us on our Instagram at AHS_CalSoap, if y'all have any follow-up questions. But if not, thank y'all so much for being here. And that pretty much concludes it.